G'day YouTube, TurboTristan here. In today's video, we will be unveiling that the VL has all been finally painted. Big shout out to John, we'll get to that later on. But for now, it's up in the air. I'm gonna pressure wash all underneath the car. I'm not gonna do a 5-minute long time lapse of me doing that because you saw that in the last Lexus video. Pretty boring, I get it. So I'm gonna clean all this first because after that, it is tear down time. We've got to pull out the carpet, the seats, clean all the interior and start to put all the little bits and pieces back together again. So pretty exciting. Get to start on this project. I've collected 95% of all of the parts I need to get this car back to brand new original. So instead of a time lapse, I'm going to show you a before and after. So here we go. Pretty greasy, pretty grimy. This is a 1986 model, I believe. Dirty springs, all dirty rubbers and bushes. Now all of this stuff's been replaced brand new already, as you can see. All nice and new parts. So it shouldn't take too much to clean off. We do need some bushes there. Greasy, greasy, greasy. We're gonna clean up all underneath the floor. All this stuff is gonna get a fresh life and we're gonna clean up the fuel tank and then it's gonna be on to putting it back together nicely. So stick around and you'll see the after in just a moment. Half time, look at all that slop everywhere. Filth. Lots of murky filth everywhere. Whole floor covered. Car's looking good though. We got off nearly 40 years of filth and smut under there. I'm gonna give it a hit with some detergent and then we're done. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thanks for joining us again. You are really going to love this build series on the VL. As I mentioned earlier, I've got around 95% of the parts ready to go on there. It's just, where do I start? I don't know what to do first. I've got to try and figure out in my brain, which isn't that smart, which order I should do things in so that I don't have to take things in and out a few times. But without further ado, let's show you the car. Now it's been back to bare metal. All the bodywork's been done. It's been rust treated. Up in Kyneton by Pat, and you would have seen the video on that. Now it has been fully resprayed in a booth using 2K paint back to its original factory color with the black window trims. It's satin black to match all of the rubbers, mirrors, handles, everything like that. Now this was done by my now good friend John. You know, you make a bit of a bond with someone after you do a project together, and he's just been phenomenal. I will be dropping in the bottom corner somewhere just some of the photos he sent me while he's been working away. He finalized all the bodywork at his own place and then booked the car in, door-to-door service, pick up, drop off to a booth, baked and then done. Now the car has to sit for around about 4 weeks. Even though it was baked and all the paint is cured and hardened, we're going to wait around 4 weeks before we sand it back. Now, I don't know, we'll leave it to the experts to tell me what to do, but I think something like a 3000 or a 2000 sandpaper all over the whole car, and then cutting compound, buffing, polishing, all that sort of stuff should bring it up to brand new. Now I've been told there is 4 or 5 coats of paint on there and 2 coats of clear on the top, and I'm sure you'll agree that it looks absolutely fantastic. I did go with the black window frames, and I'm probably going to switch out the chrome door handles for black handles. Even though this one is an executive, I might need to check the chassis number. I've been told it could even be a Berliner, but not really sure. So in today's video, once we finish miring this paint job, I'm going to pull out the front and rear seats, compare the seats that I've got with the seats that I've got here. Now, I did already go ahead and buy some seats many months ago. They don't have the cigarette burn holes or the rips in them. I just need to check if they're Series 1 or Series 2. I don't think it's going to matter too much because they're not ripped, but I'm just going to check which bits I'm going to need and use and pull all the seatbelt stuff off and any brackets or panels or clips, and keep them and put them with the new seats, new old seats, before I put them back in. And I'll remove all the back seats because we're also going to take out the carpet. I've ordered some carpet. I can't remember what I ordered. I don't know. I think I told the person I wanted sandalwood, and then they said, "Are you sure you want this brown carpet?" And I said, "No, sandalwood is cream." But it turns out I was wrong and the carpet is brown, so I can't remember what I've got. It's either going to have full cream beige interior or it's going to have the correct brown carpet. But whatever it is, it's brand new, and we're going to send it because that stuff in there is absolutely toast. So sorry to all the Purity fans. Whatever carpet we've got is what's going in. I've got to make some phone calls later on and try and get someone to come out and do the windows, reinstall them. I've got some new gas struts for the boot. I can put in the tail lights and all the locks and stuff for the boot. I don't know about keeping the wipers on or off just yet, because it does need to be cut and buffed, and I don't want buffing compound all over my nice new black trim pieces. So the mirrors won't go on, the grills in the bonnet won't go on, and I won't put in any of the other stuff that's going to get in the road. So that might even mean not doing any door latches just yet. All of the trims for up the side, bumpers, front and rear, have already been painted. I'll chuck a picture up in here. Bing! They are with John at the moment. He's going to bring those around later on once he's 100% finished with them. The headlights and indicators out of this are going to be going up on Marketplace. So are those seats. And just like my last video, VL guys, if it's not listed, it's not for sale. Okay, I get it, doesn't hurt to ask, but man, the hassles I've been getting from the VL community. Do you have this? Do you have that? Is this available? Do you have this? It's not listed, so it's just assume it's not available. Let me do some head scratching and figure out how I'm going to tackle this mammoth project. Well, I've kind of decided to start with the disassembly of the car. I've got the seats here. These are the new seats that I've got going in. They're definitely being used. So my job will be later on to clean up all these, get them all back to brand new, shampoo and condition and Pantene and whatever I can do to clean these seats. One of my mates, Michael from Only Wraps, is going to bring over, he's got a extractor, which is like a carpet cleaning machine, but for cars. And then we'll pull out the carpet and everything, and I'll get down. I'll just show you. Man, I've got so much stuff. So, excuse the mess, but all up there is all interior trims, carpets. We've got intercooler kit, turbo manifold, not that intercooler. We've got wastegate, intake plenum, massive radiator, all the gaskets and seals. I've got all the Venetians. I've got all the bits I've pulled off the spare motor. I've got the Haltech stuff down in there. Torque converter from TCE is down there. I've got a couple of different turbos to choose from. That one actually says VL on it, including in the part number. So I think I'm just going to stick with that 3582. Bang that on. We've got some carpet underlay. Heaps and heaps of stuff here. We'll start with some of these juicy bits and pieces that we've got here from Rare Spares. Right behind me. Now this isn't everything. I've still got to go spend a bit more money with them to get some mirrors and lights and things like that. I've got the window moldings, the scuff plates, the entire rubber kit for the whole car, new heater core. I'm just going to replace that just because they're old and I don't want to get this thing back on the road and then have it leak, so I'm going to replace that. Washer bottle, we've got some lowering springs, we've got the VT Commodore brake upgrade, we've got the hubs, we've got all the badges there, all the interior door handles, door latches, screw kits, everything. All of that stuff is available at Rare Spares. A lot of the VL guys will definitely know that, but anyone who's thinking about doing up an old car, definitely check out Rare Spares because they have all of this stuff, either OEM or reproduction, on the shelf ready to go. Over in this box, I've got my tacho cluster because this one doesn't have a tacho. Oil pump, we've got the rods for the engine, we've got the Haynes repair manual, which I'm definitely going to need because I'm no VL expert. Heaps of other bits. We've got some 3D printed gauge holders in there. There's so many bits and pieces and goodies and stuff. I'll do my very, very best to show you guys where I get them from, how to buy them, all that sort of stuff. And a lot of this stuff will also carry over to the Spool Up website. Such as all of these service parts, the gas struts, the hoses, all that sort of stuff. We'll be looking at getting the brake kits, all of that should be available on the Spool Up website in the future. And that'll include brake boosters, masters, all that stuff to do the big brake kit properly. So I'm gonna look at sourcing all that stuff to get the brakes happening on this guy, because we're gonna be making about 4 to maybe 5 times the power that this thing made stock. And we're going to want to stop. Yeah, I'm going to set up a tripod and I'm going to start to pull out the interior.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that
cause I just wanna hear it out your mouth, yeah. Give me fuel, it's a tool that I use to go ahead and run my mouth, yeah. I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. That's how you get big boss, you get yachts, you swing lots and pop off a big shot. I ain't done chasing, got big dreams, bigger things, impatient. Who's at the top think they need replacement? Who's at the top think I'm gonna erase them? Face it, I don't give up quick, I don't give up shit, I won't give up this. Cause I know that I want it, know that I'm on it, I'll make it, I promise.
You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things.
Alright, so this right here is proof that every half hour or 1 hour job is only one stripped nut away from being a 3-day ordeal. That ended up taking me pretty much the entire day to get one bolt out of one seat. All of these bolts in the floor, where are we? Here, where the seat mounts are, were absolutely caked, and I mean caked in Loctite. I've cut up my knuckles and bruised my hand just with an Allen key, because they'd turn and then free, and then you'd smash your hand into something and then they'd be tight as all buggery again. But we got there. Wasn't going to let a couple of hex bolts destroy my world, but they destroyed my day, that's for sure. So today's mission is I've got to get the seat rails off these seats, swap them over to the new unripped seats. The trims and everything all match, so that's great. And then I've got to spot clean, treat, and then use the extractor to basically carpet clean or shampoo and clean and dry and suck out all the water that I pump into them to clean them. And I borrowed that from my friend Mike at Only Wraps. You can check him out, he wraps cars, Only Wraps on Facebook.
All I want
leave the video there. It's been 2 solid days and nights working on the car. It doesn't look like I've achieved much, but I've fully cleaned and conditioned and extracted a huge tub of filth out of those seats. I've had to pull apart the seats that I bought with no rips and then remove the bases and everything over and swap the backs and everything and put the chairs back together to make a set. We've removed the carpet. We've got the car back from paint. I'm really happy with how John's painted the car and just the way everything's looking. We're finally going to get to start to put a whole bunch of brand new parts into this build and restore the car first. Then we can get it registered. By then the engine should be back and the car will be just a mint cruiser, and we'll start to build and put together the turbo engine. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for boost. We've got to put a shift kit through the auto, chuck the TCE torque converter in and get that thing cranking, and hopefully we can cut some 11s or 12s out of the car with any luck. Next video, I promise, we'll be putting in the carpet, we'll be chucking the seats in, we'll be doing all the interior, putting the door cards back in, hopefully chuck the glass in the windows, get those all ready, and with any luck, fingers crossed, if I can book it in, we'll get some windows back in the car and start to trim that all up. And we'll check in with John and see if he's got the bumpers ready to stick on. Not sure if I'm going to put them on yet or not, because we still need to wet sand the car and then cut and buff it and polish it so it comes up like mirror glass. With the VL build, considering that we've got 95% of the parts already here in a pile here and piles around there on the shelves, and we've got gearboxes and we've got everything all set up and ready to go, I'm gonna try and pump out 2 to 3 videos, if we're lucky, on the VL each week. Just crank the content. So if you know anyone with a VL, share this video with them and this build series in the playlist below. If you're interested in RB power, and who isn't, let's be honest, this is the original Godzilla motor, the 3-litre RB30, so we're gonna build that, get this car into a really cool retro cruiser, take it to some drags, do some shenanigans in Mexico. That's it for today. Heaps of content coming. I was gonna try cram more into this episode, but I've decided I'm tired, I've had enough. I've still got to jump in there and sort out some wiring. So spool up, bring the boost, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.